Africa's favourite nonsense returns as the Afcon 2027 qualifying draw takes place this month, less than a month before the World Cup, by the way, on the 19th of May, as Uganda, Tanzania and Kenya will host the second ever fully 2014 summer Afcon edition. Of course, last time in Egypt in 2019, who won that? Oh yeah, a team called Algeria. So, after the preliminary qualifying round, we now know the 48 teams going into this Afcon qualifying draw, and we know the pots as well, and we know how it's going to work. Now, this is going to be very different. I can't remember ever 3 teams hosting an Afcon. It might become more normal now because there's 24 teams in it, and we know the CAF president wants to make it 28 teams, for goodness sake, in future editions. So we've got 3 hosts, and we've got 24 teams in the tournament. Now, the first question many people are going to be having is, are the hosts auto-qualified? Yes. Uganda, Kenya and Tanzania have all qualified. They're going to play in the qualifying, but even if they came fourth in their groups, they're in the competition. So there's 21 spots available. This means if you draw Uganda, Kenya or Tanzania in your group, you have to come first or you will not be going to the Afcon, if that makes sense. Because in every group, it's going to be first and second goes to the Afcon. But if you're with Kenya, Uganda or Tanzania, one spot is reserved for them as hosts, so you have to get the top spot. So the first thing I'm saying about this draw is you do not want to be with a host nation in your group because it halves the number of places in your group that go to the tournament. Someone is going to draw the short straw on 3 occasions. So that's the first thing to say. The second thing to say is we welcome new teams into the Afcon qualifying. The likes of Somalia and Eritrea are entering this stage for the first time in a long time. So good luck to these teams. They've already played a previous round in the preliminary section to get to this point. Are we going to see your likes of Somalias and your Eritreas at the Afcon? Who knows? We're going to wait and see. Who are they going to be wanting in this draw? Certainly, if you're in pot 4, if you're one of those Somalias and Eritreas and South Sudans, you don't want to be with a host because, again, it's going to halve the number of places in your group that go to the tournament. Now let's look at the pots, and the big headline is that Ghana are in pot 2, and Ghana missed the last Afcon and their FIFA ranking is still hurting them and they're still feeling the effects of that. So Ghana, if they were to be drawn with a Kenya or a Tanzania and then a team from pot 1, Ghana could miss out again. Because if, for example, if Senegal get Senegal, Ghana, Kenya are auto-qualified, so only one of Senegal and Ghana are going to make it. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this draw pans out. It could get messy, but it's CAF, and with CAF you never know with these sorts of things. So honestly, they can make anything happen that they want to happen. So in pot 1, you have the highest African FIFA ranked nation, Morocco. You have the Afcon champion, Senegal. You've got Nigeria, Algeria, Egypt, Cote d'Ivoire, Tunisia, Cameroon, DR Congo, Mali, South Africa, and Burkina Faso. So Cape Verde, Ghana, Guinea, they're in pot 2, alongside Gabon, Uganda, Angola, Benin, Zambia, Mozambique, Madagascar, Equatorial Guinea, and Comoros. So Ghana are getting a big hitter. Ghana are probably going to want to get a Burkina Faso or a Mali, with respect, or a Tunisia. If you're in pot 1, you don't want Ghana. You know, Morocco don't want Ghana. Senegal don't want Ghana. Nigeria probably want Ghana. What an Afcon qualifying group that would be, by the way. Algeria don't want Ghana. If you're looking at it in pot 1, you don't want to be disrespectful, but you want Madagascar. You want Madagascar in pot 2 all day long. You want Alex Melman, Gloria, you know, all those guys, the Penguins. You want these guys from pot 2. So that's the first thing I'd be saying. Pot 3, again, you've got 2 host nations in there you want to avoid in Kenya and Tanzania. You've got the Libyans who are resurging, Niger. I think Niger are going to be very close to making the tournament. Mauritania, Gambia. I think Gambia are going to come back. Sudan, Sierra Leone, Namibia, Togo, Malawi and Rwanda. But pot 4's also got some pretty decent teams. Pot 4's got Zimbabwe and Guinea-Bissau. They're not pot 4 teams in my eyes. They're not teams I want to be getting. But then you've got your Congo, Brazzavilles, your Central African Republics, your Liberias, your Botswanas, your Burundis, Ethiopias, your Lesothos, your South Sudans, your Eritreas and your Somalias. Now, what would be the best group for Algeria, or any pot 1 team in fact? I'd probably say Algeria, Madagascar, Rwanda and then Lesotho. You're absolutely laughing your way to the bank. But it could also be Algeria, Ghana, Kenya and Zimbabwe. And that is bad, because only one team makes it. You've got to get past the Ghanaians, and Zimbabwe's not an easy game. I don't care what anyone says to me. Zimbabwe is not an easy game. So those are the pots for the Afcon draw. Who do you want to draw? Let me know in the comments down below. I think CAF have fluffed the system. I don't think the host nations should be playing in the qualifying if they've already qualified. But the way the maths works, it's the only way they've managed to do it. So honestly, someone in pot 1 is going to be really, really unfortunate to get Kenya, Tanzania or Uganda, because it's going to leave one spot. And if you get that Kenya, I know I keep saying it, but it is crucial. If you get that Kenya or you get that Tanzania with Ghana in pot 2 and then Algeria in pot 1, I think someone could be cooked. And we've seen in the previous qualifying campaign, you know, Ghana, Cape Verde. It doesn't matter if you go into the World Cup. It's not easy qualifying for the Afcon. The gap between the big teams and the small teams, for me, is so small now. Like, the African game, whatever you think of it, is developing. Teams in pot 4 can easily beat teams in pot 1, pot 2. So nothing's a given, and it's going to be a really interesting campaign. The qualifying is going to start in September in the new format international break and October. So the games are not too far away. The World Cup's going to happen in a couple of months. It's straight into the Afcon qualifying. It's straight back into the Afcon next summer. Now, there's a lot of talk about the infrastructure in Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania. Of course, Morocco had by far, I've never disputed it, by far the best stadiums, the best infrastructure, the best hotels. I mean, they're going to host a World Cup, for goodness sake. Of course they have. That side, I think we're going to miss out. And also the packed out stadiums. We're going to miss out on that side in the East Africa Afcon. But what I'm hoping we don't miss out on is that refereeing corruption and that Fauzi lecture influence. You're not going to be getting that in an Afcon like this. You've got 3 teams as a host nation. They're practice hosting a Chan, which of course Algeria didn't perform very well in. But yeah, I think they're at the Chan to practice. If Motsepe says they're ready to go, they're ready to go. You can't pull the plug now last minute because you're going to have 3 hosts in the qualifying, auto-qualified. What could happen is that the Afcon in 2027 doesn't happen, and this ends up being the qualifying for 2028 with the same hosts. So they could push it back a year if they're not ready. That wouldn't shock me. That wouldn't surprise me. But of course, that means it would be the same time as the Euros. So we're going to wait and see. So that is the preview of the Afcon 2027 qualifying draw. Who do you want? 48 teams. It's time to get excited again as Senegal begin the defence of their Afcon title. So the draw's coming up. I know it's a bit weird because they're all thinking about the World Cup. Trust me, we are. But of course, we cannot just ignore this draw taking place. So let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching, and we're going to see you soon.